everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and many thanks firstly to the Ardhowen for having us. I feel like there's not too many theatres that are actively promoting live music during this time, so much appreciated. We are the Kennedy Sweeney Warnock Band.
Imaginatively named.
Of course. I'm Maeve, the Kennedy part, and then we have Moya here in the middle, Moya Sweeney, and Mr. Jack Warnock over there on the end, on guitar. But yes, that first set started off with
A
Highland, yeah.
We would have picked it up from the playing of John McCusker, Mike McGodick and John Doyle. We're the wannabe band.
Absolutely.
Wannabe
We should have called
McCusker,
ourselves
Doyle.
that today.
We should have, really.
The tribute band.
Yeah, and then we went into a reel called Sheepskin and Beeswax, which I think we both would have heard from French Canadian, am I right?
Yeah.
French Canadian band called La Bottine Souriant.
Yes, that's the one.
Lovely French there, Jack.
That's all I can say in French.
But yes, that was our little intro, and now we're gonna play some jigs for you, I think.
Aye, so the first jig, the first two jigs actually are both compositions of Liz Carroll, a fiddle player from Chicago, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Had to make sure
Very
that's
soon.
right.
In case she's watching.
Yeah, in case she is. But yeah, me and Maeve, I think the both of us, we probably would have learnt them tunes from Brenda McCann. We both grew up playing with Erminstown CCE and playing in FLAs and groups and bands and all that jazz. So
The good old days.
The good old days. We'll do this set for Brenda.
We will, yeah, and anyone from Urbanstown CCE who's watching. So we've got two of those by Liz, and then we're going into, I think it's Vincent Broderick, I think, wrote The Haunted House, which is our last one. So yeah, should we take it away?
Could have blushed.
Thank
very much. Yeah, these are our jigs. A hark back to Urban Sound CCE days. And not from Urban Sound CCE, actually from County Derry, we have Jack here today. We're very, very grateful to have him.
Yeah.
And he's going to do some songs for us.
Yeah. So I was dragged in tonight to play a bit of
Dragged?
Excuse me? I think that's a very accurate word. But, no, so I came along tonight to play a bit of accompaniment, and then I was told that I have to do a couple of songs as
Of
well.
course.
while
You're the
in.
money maker.
So that's it. So the first one I'm going to do is a song. It's called The Dutchman, and it's one that I would have picked up years ago from recordings of Liam Clancy. And it was probably one of the first songs I ever sang in sessions and things like that. So it was probably the first one I ever really did outside of the house. But yeah, so it's called The Dutchman, and it tells the story of this woman Margaret and her relationship with her husband, who it's not sort of explicitly said, but he's suffering with dementia or Alzheimer's, and yeah, it's just about their bond and relationship, even though he can get confused and stuff sometimes. So I'll give it a wee go anyways, see how it ends up. The Dutchman's not the kind of man to keep his thumb jammed in the dam that holds his dreams in. That's a secret that only Margaret knows. When Amsterdam was golden, in the morning Margaret brings him breakfast. She believes him. He thinks the tulips bloom beneath the snow. He's mad as he can be, but Margaret only sees that sometimes. Sometimes she sees her unborn children in his eyes. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuider Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman still wears wooden shoes, his cap and coat are patched with love that Margaret sewed in. Some tea with whiskey keeps away the dew. He sees her for a moment, he calls her name, she makes the bed up, humming some old love song. He learned it when the tune was very new. They hum a line or two, they hum together in the night. The Dutchman falls asleep and Margaret blows his candlelight. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuider Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. The Dutchman still wears wooden shoes, his cap and coat are patched with love that Margaret sewed in. Sometimes he thinks he's still in Rotterdam. He watches tugboats down canals and calls out to them when he thinks he knows the captain. till Margaret comes to take him home again. Through unforgiving streets that trick him though she holds his arms. Sometimes he thinks that he's alone and calls her name. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So nice. Almost made me cry.
Thanks. Yeah,
Almost made me cry, honestly.
I'll take it.
A messy operation.
I know.
Clean that up.
3 songs in, like, broken me.
Right, what's
Okay.
next?
So we're gonna do a set of step jigs now. Yeah. So the first tune is a wee step jig called "Fig for a Kiss," and the second one is what is the name exactly?
Fox Hunters.
Fox
Yeah.
Hunters.
I first learned that in Manchester. They love it in Manchester.
Lives in Manchester.
Mm.
Lives in Mancunian.
Yes. So if anyone's tuned in from Manchester, hi.
So it's for Manchester. And the last tune is "Farewell to Wally Range," which is also a
Big ol' Manchester
big
tune.
Manchester tune.
Manchester set, so
So a lovely Manchester.
Yeah. Written by Mike McGoldrick.
Brilliant pick there.
Great tune.
Okay.
So yes, we're starting this.
Yeah.
Yes. So, 1, 2, 3.
set.
I know.
We're very
But-
thankful for
Yeah, for you
everyone that's
too.
here. Whipping.
Yeah. Bryony and Niall, thank you very much. And
Very
of course,
thankful to everyone at home that's clapping or
Thank
booing or
Aldo,
whatever it
booing.
might
I'm
be.
sure. I'm sure. Dancing around the room.
Exactly. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
All good things, I hope.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the comments in a bit.
Yeah.
And see you all tuned in and say some highs.
Yeah.
Let's get your comments in.
That's it.
Your Q&A.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the next tune?
Leaving.
Leaving Friday
Yes,
Harbour.
Leaving Friday Harbour. This is written by John McCusker. I think a really great Scottish fiddle player.
Believe so.
He's fab composer. His stuff sounds it's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is done again by the Doyle McGoldrick McCusker trio, and now we're doing it
We're
as,
trying to end with it this
of
evening.
course, as the Kennedy Sweeney Warnock trio.
Exactly.
so-
Michael Goldrick is a wonderful accordion player. Of course. For anyone that doesn't know Michael Goldrick, he doesn't play the accordion.
I don't know. He probably
Just
does.
a-
He probably does.
Probably.
I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised.
If he doesn't, he definitely could.
Yeah, he can pick up most things.
I actually think he might, but
Slander.
yes.
So yes, so we're going to play
Yeah,
this tune.
we'll give that a go. But
Slow it
first,
down with this.
I'll ask someone to play me the start of it because I can never remember the start. Ah, lovely. Okay, great.
Joy's a loud gig there.
No, here goes.
Absolutely.
You don't get that. Listen to the CDs.
For free.
Right, here goes. 2 seconds. Okay.
judge the ending of that tune. We were having a bit of a
We did.
dilemma beforehand.
We did practice it. We practiced it, and no one did the last note.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
it just
just-
kind of held on. Then we all sat back.
Go for a pizza there.
But that was
It
a
worked well.
solid ending.
It was a good ending. Well done, folks. Teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream
Makes
work.
the dream work. There we go.
Right, next
So,
we have.
Yes. So I'm going to do another song. So this one's a bit faster. It's a song that I would have got from the singing of Paul Brady. So I'm sure everybody knows who Paul Brady is.
Actually, a
but-
cousin of me and Moy's.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Keep it
I've got a lot to live up to here.
Name
It's in your
drop.
blood, this song. So yeah, it's a song called "Marrying the Soldier." He says it probably came from around County Antrim, but I'm not too sure about that. But sure, we'll give it a go. It's a nice one because it's one of the few kind of happy Irish love songs, as it turns out, because most of them end up in treachery with someone going across the ocean and, you know, leaving, and it's all very sad and whatnot. But this one ends up all right, because Mary goes out and she sees the soldiers marching around, and she goes, "I'll have me one of them," and she gets her wish. So
Good for her.
yeah, so Marrying the Soldier, I'll give this one a rattle. Come all ye lads of higher renown, that will hear of a fair young maiden, and she rode out on a summer's day to view the soldiers parading. They marched so bold and they looked so gay, the colours flying and the bands did play, and it caused young Mary for to say, "I wed you, me gallant soldier." She viewed the soldiers on parade as they stood at their leisure, and Mary to herself did say, "At last I found my treasure. But oh, how cruel my parents must be to banish my darling so far from me. Well, I leave them all and I'll go with thee, me bold and daunting soldier." Oh, Mary dear, your parents' love, I pray don't be unruly, for when you're in a foreign land, believe me, you'll rue it surely. Perhaps in battle I might fall with a shot from an angry cannonball, and you so far from your daddy's hall, be advised by a gallant soldier. Well, I have 50 guineas in bright gold, likewise a heart that's bolder. I'll leave them all and I'll go with you. Be bold and daunting soldier, but don't say no, but let me go, and I will face the daring foe, and we'll march together to and fro, and I'll wed you, me gallant soldier. Saw her loyalty, and Mary so true-hearted, he said, "My darling, married will be, and nothing but death will part us. And when we're in a foreign land, I'll guard you, darling, with my right hand, in hopes that God might stand a friend to Mary and her gallant soldier." To Mary and her gallant soldier. Thank you.
Lovely. That was for Paul Brady, who I'm sure is watching as well.
There
You know,
Liz Carroll
because
and Mike
family.
Roderick.
That's it.
I'm gonna have a look at some of these comments
Yeah.
because we've had messages from various people all day, so
Yeah.
I'm sure
Might
there's
as
some
well.
good ones out there.
Check out what's
Oh,
going
yeah.
on.
Are we
So if
getting
anybody
on?
wants us to
Lovely.
read anything out, now's the time.
Yes, I see Mrs. McGogan from Mount Lourdes.
Oh
giving me
yes. We're
a
me
wee
and Niamh
wave.
both past pupils of my nerds.
Absolutely. This is on my own watch party, so I'm not sure about the actual event. Lovely. Chris Muriel, getting me nicely in the mood prior to a live session I will have tonight using Jazz Kazam with the Long Island Traditional Music Association. Wow.
There you go.
God, we should get involved in that.
We should.
Deadly. How nice is that? We'll have another look in a minute. That was just for my own, like I say, my own Facebook, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more.
We'll
Let's have a
check
look
out
at
I
it
was
in a
gonna
bit.
say hi, get your messages in,
Yes.
give you a shout out.
Oh, nice.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think we're going to hand over to
Oh,
Niamh
Niamh here.
for a wee solo.
I think so.
Moy's got the boron out with
Yes.
with the paw print on the front.
Oh goodness.
I love that.
There it is
I wish,
now.
I wish there was a paw print in my fiddle. Like
Oh,
it's class.
they can't all be as cool as I am. To have a paw print.
Yeah, so we'll play a wee hornpipe that I'd like to dedicate to any of the McCanns watching tonight. Which I'm sure there's quite a few, because there's quite a few McCanns. This is my Granda Harry's favourite tune ever. Never met him, but I always think of him when I play it. So that's the Golden Eagle first, and then I'll go into wee jig, The Coming of Spring, which I was given up by Nuala McBride from Trillick. Great fiddle player and great teacher. So yeah, and I'll do that, and then we'll have a bit more of a masterpiece from Moya in a minute.
We're really hyping it up now.
Of course. And there's an anecdote to go with that too, so you'll have to stay and hear that. But yeah. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Okay.
So now,
So-
like I said, yeah, we're gonna
I'm going to disappear. So.
yeah for a split second, the magic of
And bring back a wee present for everyone.
Brenda's on your
ah
Nobody can see her space, it's just you.
grand. So yes, we had that was my little piece there, and we had a gorgeous piece lined up for Moya to play on the harp, Stars by the really great multi-instrumentalist Brian Finnegan. And we got here at about 7:30ish, and we were here about 5 minutes before we heard this big bang. And sure enough, one of Moya's strings had just snapped
Disintegrated.
completely on its own as well. It couldn't have been worse luck. So her C string snapped on the harp, and sadly that tune, and a lot of tunes, rely quite a lot on the C. So in about 5 minutes flat, Moya has now chosen a new tune that we think doesn't have any C's in it. We can't be sure. And if you don't hear a C, you'll know why. But yeah, it'll be Planksy, isn't it?
Yes.
Planksy Dermot Grogan, which again we would have done back when we were weans in Urban Sound CCE. But
A bit of interior design here.
but we're really glad actually we could do a tune on this harp for Moya, because you'll hear it now. She's absolutely brilliant on it, and it would have been an awful shame that she carried it all this way and wouldn't get to play it. So
All this way and everything.
so yeah, a very impromptu change, but
Yeah. Hi. So we planks day. Called Planks Jump Grogan.
Beautiful.
Lovely.
How about that for like a last minute change?
Worked out well, I
You're
think.
Says a lot. For
And
your
not a
talent.
sea in sight.
And not a C. Disappear again.
Absolutely.
Lovely job.
So now we've got
Yeah.
we've only got 2 left, have we?
2 left, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we say 2. I mean 2 sets, not 2 tunes.
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous.
If we go by that logic, then we've got like 5 tunes, really. Yeah, so I'm gonna do one more song, and then that's the singing out of the way for the evening. We're on home straight then. But the last song I'm gonna do is called William and Davy, and again, it's one that I've been singing for a fairly long time. And I would have got it in classes at the Armagh Pipers Club. When I was going there, I went to the Armagh Pipers Club for maybe 2 years, and then was teaching for 2 or 3 years after that. But yeah, it's a song called William and Davy. Kate Rusby does an excellent version of it, and it's a sort of traditional English song, and it's about these 2 brothers that they fall in love, not with each other. Oh, I used to get murdered for telling that joke when introducing the song, but I haven't told it. I know that's.
Niall hasn't jumped out from behind the soundboard and strangled you.
I know. I think I saw him sigh, and I think he's
Did you?
he made me have to go for a lie down after that one. But yeah, so it's a song called William and Davy, and yeah, I'll give it a wee rattle, and we'll see how it goes from there. Great. William and Davy were born in one hall. They grew side by side as they grew strong and tall. They shared most things, only quarrelled now and then. In 20 years they were fine young men. In 20 years they were fine young men. William and Davy, their hearts had been won. For each young man, she's the very same one. Her eyes are blue, she has soft and snowy skin. A fairer maiden there ne'er has been. A fairer maiden there ne'er has been. Said William to Davy, this girl I must wed. She fills my dreams, said she fills my head. And please be kind, her true lover I'll be him. Around the ocean I'm willing to swim. Around the ocean I'm willing to swim. Oh dearest William, now you must play fair. She's in my heart and she'll always be there. And I am sure that she loves me more than me. And in her arms I soon will be. In her arms I soon will be. Said William to Davy, away let us ride. And unto her we'll stand side by side. And there she'll choose who she'll love and who she'll wed. And who will lie with her in her bed. Who will lie with her in her bed. The brothers they rode through the wind and the rain. Each of them her heart for to gain. They rode until they were standing at her door. Their bellies empty, their hearts were sore. Their bellies empty, their hearts were sore. And swiftly the maiden she open the door. King William Davy come calling no more. For wed I am, oh, and happy I'll be. For gold and silver he gave to me. Gold and silver he gave to me. William and Davy were born in one hall. They rode side by side and they never did so. They both have lost the girl that they adore. Their bellies empty, their hearts still sore. 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 Their hearts still sore.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Well done, Jack. Gorgeous. Yeah, we're now on to our very last set.
Our last set of the evening.
Thank you so much.
For all of you that have tuned in, I for some reason can't see the comments. I was trying to.
I know.
I wasn't really on sociable while Jack was telling the story.
Yeah, if you saw us on our phones, I swear I wasn't just texting.
No,
They've heard that song a million times at this stage.
Got an invite to the Newfoundland Folk Festival.
Oh, amazing!
Well, we'll be there.
We love that.
Sound engineer.
Yeah. We'll bring the whole team.
Oh,
Lovely. Yeah, no, thanks so much, anyone who's been
Yeah.
watching tonight. Really, really appreciate it. And a massive thanks to the Ardhowen for having us. And like I said at the start, just keeping this alive.
yeah, I've been at home and been watching these live streams, and they've just made my week. They're just brilliant. Just to feel like that energy of live music again is just really great, especially at this time when we're not getting out and playing as much anymore. Yeah, I'd like to thank Maeve for inviting myself and Jack to play along with her.
I'd like to thank Moya for speaking on my behalf on that.
Yeah, because it's just really
Yeah.
good to. We don't really get to play that often together, just because
No,
in
we,
Manchester.
yeah, we
as well.
the first time the three of us played together was randomly at the Ennis Trad Fest
yeah.
Yeah,
last
and that,
year.
that was, I think, the first time I actually met
Yes,
Maeve,
it
because I'd
was,
heard
yeah.
about Maeve, like in different capacities from different people, and was always like, oh yeah, she sounds cool. But
And now you know that's a lie.
I know. But no, we had a lovely day of tunes.
We
up
did,
in,
yeah.
Or down in Ennis. And it was really random and quite nice.
Yeah, and I mean, here we are now. And sadly, those kind of festivals aren't happening this year for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But hopefully, when they do come back, it'll be with a bang.
We'll be down in the Auburn Lodge,
We will.
We will, surely.
playing a racket tunes again.
Absolutely.
That's
the
it.
good
So-
old days.
We'll dedicate our last set to anybody in the Auburn Lodge.
Anybody who's missing trad this summer, this last
Anybody
set.
who
Yeah.
would have been in Ennis.
Yeah,
Yes, this last set.
absolutely.
So thank you so much for listening, tuning in, commenting, liking, showing your friends. It's just
And of course, a big thanks to Niall over there, doing
yes.
our sound, lights, cameras.
The whole lot.
The action is right.
The action man.
just being the rock
Action
for us.
Exactly.
Right. Rising
Glue
star.
us all together. Yeah.
So, yeah. Any information on the polkas?
Yeah.
before we-
I mean, you probably know more the names than I do. We're doing a set of polkas to finish, in a variety of keys. We'll see where it takes us.
Yes.
The first one I know for a fact is called Murphy's Polka. The second one I don't know the name of, but
Do you
Moya.
know the name of it?
I can't remember.
I
I
just
get the feeling it
I,
was like.
I continue to call it the dog's polka because
Because you're
Foreman
Boron?
dog.
because four men and dog have recorded it, and
Ah,
that's how
Indeed.
I just
Um,
decided to call it
I
that.
can't remember what it's called. It's like the first name is 3 letters. I'm fairly sure it's Dan or Tom someone's.
just type that into Google and see where that
Dan
takes
or
you.
Dan
Tom
Murphy?
someone's. Is it Dan? I think maybe Donald Murphy calls it Dan Murphy after his dad.
Yeah.
But I think there's another name on it.
Mhm.
But that's what Donald calls it,
there we go.
I believe.
Fair enough.
So.
That wasn't helpful at all, but you know,
No,
in terms of looking it up.
a little bit of background info, anyways.
Yeah.
And then
Then after that, we've got one again. I don't know the name of it, but Bioga played it.
yeah, Bioga
The
recorded that
great
Another
trad
great
band,
band.
Bioga.
Mhm.
one. Uh-huh.
And
And then
oh,
the
while we're on the
last one?
subject of
Yeah.
Bioga, thank you to Damien McKee of Bioga for lending me his accordion.
Of course.
This is his, not mine. It sounds lovely and it makes me sound a lot better. So big shout out to Damien for that. If you're
Sure.
watching along there with Liz Carroll.
Of course, yeah, all together,
And Paul Brady.
isolating together.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
That's it. Sure, we all need all the help we can with our instruments.
That's it.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
and-
McElroy.
Yes.
But
Our very last one you
Yes.
do know the name of,
yes,
and I know
the
it
last
from
one I
Jane
know
Annan.
as Tina Lex.
Lovely.
Tina Lex polka.
It's a great polka, so I'm glad you know the name of it
Mhm.
because then I can actually look
I
it
always
up.
kind of associate it with Derry because I
Ah.
always remember Oren Mullen. I don't know if Oren's watching, but if Oren's over in Frome in England watching, I always associate this tune with him because I just remember him playing it in sessions in Derry, sort of when I was back in first year uni or even before that. So yeah, there we go.
There we
Okay,
go.
I think that's everything out. So we may get playing some tunes.
Yes, we will. So this will play us out. So thank you so much again, Ardhowen and anyone watching. And we'll see you home with some polkas.